G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a Bloodied sniper rifle with bullets exploding for area damage. Now, we've already done a Bloodied sniper rifle before, but that one was with fire rate, so we tuned that one, if we cast our minds to a few days back, for basically high DPS, rate of fire. So we had the hair trigger receiver, and that synergized pretty well with the 25% faster fire rate. This one is explosive, so we're going full damage on this one. So 50 receivers, and they kind of work weirdly. I'll show you a little bit later on, but 50 receiver gives us the most damage. We've got a true barrel and true stock for that hipfire accuracy. If we're a little bit too close for comfort, need to, scope in or aim accurately without using the scope, not actually scoping it, I suppose, and a perforating magazine to boost our damage ever so slightly more. Mag capacity of 5. If we're good with our shots, we won't have to worry about that. You'll also notice how there isn't a suppressor on this, and this is just to get the sound of this out of the system, so I don't have people complaining that, yo, you didn't use the 50 unsuppressed, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. I'm going to use it unsuppressed, and then we'll chuck a shush tube on it a little bit later on because it's just better like that. So 113 damage, obviously firing the 50s. Let's go ahead and upgrade this thing's damage, shall we? And we're going to chuck on the commando perks because, little known fact, this is actually a commando weapon. Yeah, I bet you didn't know that. No, we'll actually chuck on the rifleman perks, and it's an explosive weapon, so you can put demo export on if you feel like for boosting damage, and bloody mess on something in luck to make it shoot better and stuff. 228 damage. Doesn't seem like all that much, but once we get this thing kicking with nerd rage, well, I'll show you. Alrighty, note our health just in the corner there. We're under nerd rage threshold. We're getting almost as much damage as we can get out of it by sitting here. Revenant obviously withheld from that. But something else of note is the Nuka Girl costume is actually working. The midriff textures aren't bugged. I'm going to savor it, because this happens pretty fucking rare, to be honest. And here is our Bloodied sniper rifle. The 708 damage, it's probably enough to kill pretty much anything, I guess. I mean, if you shoot it enough, it will. Alrighty, Winter. Hope you brought your hearing protection, otherwise you're going to be hearing the ringing in your ears for the next 2 bloody weeks. Alright, so here we go. We're ready to go. No real point in sneaking all that much, but we'll give it a shot, alright? We'll see what we can do. Okay, that was kind of obscured by the explosion sounds, but yeah, it's the same sounds that were in Fallout 4, which are really good sounds. Wow, how did I miss that? I actually used the same sounds to make Bridget's pistol sound like a deagle, and ooh, plenty of corpse explosions happening here. Now we just have to wait till they rock up. Here they come, and here's where we basically, oh, missed that one. Somehow grazing hit on that particular ghoul. See, this is why I use stealth, fellas, because this is ridiculous. I have to sit up here like some sort of scrub who doesn't know what a suppressor is, and plink at them one at a time. Let's make this a little bit more interesting, shall we? What I'll do is I'll run into the tennis court, so it's a better playing field, and let's see how far I can go without using VATS, eh? Also, if you're using a sniper rifle and you find that the thing is, you can't unscope it, well, basically what you do is you just tap the aim down sights button after you take the shot, and you can move around at normal speed. I remember, what's that dude? He's got the Doge as his YouTube profile, and he was doing a review on Fallout 76. It was like, the hunting rifle is bugged, you can't blah blah blah. You just tap it, and it's not the hardest thing to learn, but once you do get in the habit of just tapping the aim down sights button after you take the shot, it's just a lot easier to survive, because you're not stuck in a super slow walk mode where your vision is severely limited. Yep, that was bound to happen, wasn't it? You see, this is why you always want to use... Whoops. Well, at least we've got the ghouls aggroed if they're out again. This is why you always want to use VATS when it comes to these sorts of weapons, because you need to make those shots count. Easy shots there, right? Well, I don't have a fucking aim of, what's his name from Battlefield 4, was it Ravik or something? He had like a sick aim. I don't have that kind of aim, and we can kind of brain deadly do this by ourselves. That was unfortunate. Also, that's bullshit. The netcode on these fucking ghouls is you're already in the air and they'll still hit you. Doing tons of damage though, which is pretty good, I suppose. What I might do is let them hit me at least a few more times to at least inflict some sort of radiation damage, but yeah. Guess we're kind of done here. We've got old mate sitting over there just chilling. I'm going to pick those up. Actually, kind of don't need those. I'm near the cap limit on this character. But, yeah, I mean, that's why I do use a suppressor, because it's a lot easier just to stay hidden, to not only get those sneak attack multipliers, but also, you know, make sure we don't get swarmed, because being swarmed with a weapon like this is... it's not good. As you can tell right there, I was overran, and due to my own incompetence, I killed myself, but yeah, that's kind of how it goes. I'm not even sure if we actually finished most of the ghouls. I probably just ran off somewhere else, but yeah, we all know that this thing is not a good crowd control weapon anyway, so just to show you what this thing can be like, there's that. So quickly going over the receivers for this, because it's kind of interesting, you notice how the 50 receiver here is doing 7 or 8 damage, whilst the hardened receiver is doing 655. That's a 53 damage difference, quick maths. And basically with this type of weapon setup, Bloody Explosive, you kind of want to boost that damage to the maximum. So that's what we've done. As you can tell, proportionately, the 50 color receiver gets much better damage boost out of this, because yeah, it's a huge margin. 50 damage ain't nothing. But for some reason, the 50 receivers with the prefixes on them, such as critical or precise, they've got less damage than the hardened receiver. So I feel like this thing is being boosted, but they've forgotten about these, or it's supposed to be like that. I don't really know. That's kind of bizarre. Alright, here's the situation. It's just over 6 AM now, so I won't get my 3.5 times sneak attack criticals. But we've got the suppressor on now, which, if you're familiar with the sound of a regular old 308 with a suppressor, you'll notice this one sounds a lot beefier too. So the suppressor gets a little kick in the sound department as well, which is nice. Alright, crabs, let's go. Alright, seemed to get a headshot on that one, despite him being clearly turned in the other direction. Alright, rooftop camper powers activate. We gotta pretend we're playing Battlefield 4 here. Or maybe not. Well, they got distracted on a rad roach for a second, so I guess we'll just take them out one by one. Don't have glow sight, so don't get a huge damage multiplier against those tanky bastards, but dispatched him without being spotted or hit with random ass blind fire there. Grenade goes in because nothing else appears to be around with a quick VAT scan. Mummy's out, so let's quickly finish her off. 1500 damage on the noggin. Missed that shot, unfortunately. There we go, another 1500 with some extra sneak damage there, and a nice hip fire finish to that. And that's kind of it for the crabs here. Unfortunately, I missed out on a few spawns. 879 damage. We'll have a closer look at the adrenaline damage as we actually get that to maximum. Alrighty, what has the train yard smash given us today? Ah, we've got muties. Well, that's nice, because some fucker was in Muty's Plaza and it didn't allow me to spawn. I was going to stick around because it was still night, but I guess I could have server swapped by now. Alright, Bloodied builds, always got to remember, you got to do your Rad-X on the diluted side, and we'll find out what that legendary dropped to say, because people will always die wondering, or just completely lose their shit if I don't loot it on screen. At least the radiation resistance part is rather context sensitive. Anyways, we'll keep on going. Another 3-star. Sometimes I get a couple of 3 stars at this particular place. That is a case of over-aim. I'm going to slow down my sensitivity a bit. A bit more, actually. Oh, wait, this is the lowest. Never mind. Okay, I might need to adjust my settings, or rather, just get good instead. Yeah, probably getting good would be a good idea. Yeah, I shouldn't be missing those shots. Like I said before, I'm not fucking sending an application to FaZe anytime soon. That was bullshit. Back at it again. There we go. We've redeemed ourselves a little bit. There's really no excuse to miss those hit scan things. I'm a fucking scrub. Also, alright, now we're in a little bit of trouble. We've seen some super mutants happening here. Yep, we've one-shotted that guy. We don't actually have to go for headshots. We could just hit him center mass. That's obviously the better choice there. Less chance of missing. Maybe Winter's got such a bad aim in XCOM 2 because I've just got a bad aim. And she doesn't have VATs to rely on. Yeah, that's probably the thing, right? That's why I'm always running around with a Tesla rifle in Nuclear Winter. Hey, it takes a lot of mental RAM to commentate and talk shit whilst playing a game. Also, 3 times 3-star things. That's what I got last time. Well, into the script bin it goes, I suppose, and we'll move on to something else. Alright, we're in the Scorch Beast killing fields now, so we'll just start off with a bunch of these bastards. All of the toasted ones. And, okay, oh, wait, there you are. I thought I saw 2 for a second there. And we begin, and there's a bunch of scorched out already, because I think there was something aggroed before, and they just happened to summon those guys out of thin air, just because they're bosses and they've got the ability to summon minions at will. Like, look at these bums just sitting around there. What are they even doing? Let's see if I can't do this without missing a shot, being a big old scrub. Double points for headshots. Alright, taking a look at that damage now. I think that's 6. Why, indeed it is. 965 damage, which means, we're almost at 1k, which is pretty damn good. If we, you know, boost it a little bit more with Revenant, we could easily push this over, that much, but I'm not actually sure whether that works on... excuse me, I can't see. Oh, we missed one. Scrub. And another. Kind of hard to hit sometimes. Okay, I wanted to get him so he slammed down in the ground harder, but yeah. Like I said, stealth is a good way to run this to make sure you don't actually, you know, get punished for the blatant shots that you should hit, but still miss. Looks like we haven't pulled any Scorch Beast spawns out of that. I'm pretty sure I just picked up a double kill there. And if they're too far away, less than 10% chance to hit and still moving around slow, always take those shots. So pretty cruisy run, to be honest. Oh, we're almost at 1000. If I go and sit in this flames, like flames, I guess they're invisible flames, right? Like what Ron Perlman said. Did he say that? No, he said war never changes. I think I'm getting confused. That's something they said in the Sierra Madre DLC, right? It's like invisible fire. No, that was Lonesome Road. So now that we arrive at the super mutants, let's arrive at the question of the day. Is this an actual weapon worth using? Let's take a look at some similar weapons to fulfill similar different roles. You've got the Pipe Bolt action, which is bugged right now. You can boost its damage to beyond what this thing can go because you can boost it from 2 sets of perks, so, you know. That's bugged, but it does more damage, so we'll take that for what it's worth. Oh, it's so twitchy. God damn. I don't know why, but I have such a hard time tracking these targets. Maybe it's just because I'm lazy. But still, I'm not going to make excuses for my shit gameplay, that's for sure. At least we can snipe these guys. See, once we got a suppressor on this, it does reduce our range ever so slightly, but since we're doing so much damage, that half damage penalty, you know, with the sneak attack criticals, doesn't really mean all that much anyways. So as long as we can get the hits in, we get the kills, which is good. So it's succeeded in its success criteria of at least one-shotting stuff, but that's good. But then you've got weapons like the lever action rifle, which fires faster, potentially reloads faster. So I don't know. There just isn't a lot of reason to use a hunting rifle in this game ever, really. Granted, you still can get away with using it sometimes, provided you've got the good legendary effects, but you'll find that it's subpar in a lot of situations. Which is why nobody's selling these things on the market for high mana caps, because, well, they're just plain old suck compared to other options. Even a semi-automatic handmade will probably boost your DPS higher than what a hunting rifle can achieve. And you can make 36 5.56s per go with Ammo Smith, so, you know, it's a lot easier to run. So the hunting rifle is kind of in a spot where I guess it's just a sort of early to mid-game weapon that's attempting to be an end-game weapon just by having its level higher. Imagine talking so much shit about a weapon that's basically one-shotting everything. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Let's continue. Alright, so instead of going inside the Muties Plaza, what I'm going to do instead is rather do Senseless Violence, and we've just got a random Scorch Beast here. And we're not getting sneak attack criticals on him, unfortunately, despite being in caution. it's because of this bastard. They're aggroing. He's aggroing everyone. So I guess this is... Oh, wait. It's because there's multiple factions here. Oh, those bloody Mirelurks and that Radroach. I hope I really got that Radroach. I think a 50, explosive 50 would probably do well against him. And there's another Mirelurk Queen, so we'll take that fucker out. Actually... Okay, I think the Mirelurk Queen took out the Scorched dude. Go for the legs if it's not showing you its body, because the shell will make you do heaps less damage. Alright, so this is a kind of an annoying event because it takes so fucking long to start. I feel like this event is one of the main ones that actually get ignored in this particular region because it just takes so long. Take that. Oh wow, that actually disabled my VATS. That's interesting. Did that sonic projectile actually get in the way of VATS? Oh my god, he's still going. You can't interrupt him either. You have to wait until he goes through his spiel, so I guess I'll see you when he's fucking done yapping. Shut up! Alright, we're done with this, and we've drawn a bunch of Mirelurks, so, yeah, it's just crabs, and also defend the census taker. Does that mean when I'm not going to get sneak attack criticals? There we go. I was meant to aim at the plasma grenade and shoot that, but we've got Demo Expert anyway, so that cleaned him up pretty nicely. Also, new theory about this nonsense here and how we can, as a player base, prevent it. I'm thinking, here's my thoughts on this. I'm thinking that you get a thing like this. It's actually a container now. It's no longer a dead NPC. So I'm thinking it's an actual container. If you actually do that, it might clear out. We'll come back a little bit later to see. But, think of it like this. You know how you drop the baggie and it's there for everyone to take? You can pick up what you want. Well, it's like that. The baggie always stays there as long as there's stuff in there. But since that's a created container that nobody can actually access the bits of loot in it that might be preventing it from despawning, I'm thinking that that's the reason why they stay around, because players don't actually clean up after themselves, so... Ah, it's actually turned into plasma goo now instead of Mirelurks. Ah, okay. That's interesting. You always see them listed as the particular enemy that kills them. So is the way to do it actually to clean up after yourself and take personal responsibility? That's the real question. So if the gameplay is not doing it for you, there's some philosophical nonsense for you to chew on, for you to eat, and we've got 3 more minutes of this shit. I was hoping for gulpers actually, that would have been more of a challenge. We seem to be one-shotting all the crabs, but honestly, we don't fight a lot of crabs. There's usually a group of 5 or 6, and having a look at that damage again, 948. The good thing about the hunting rifle too is it's quite efficient on its ammo. So you'll find that the hunting rifle doesn't actually break on you all that much. Even if you want to shift in a couple of points of gunsmith here and there just to keep it going a bit longer. More crabby dudes have spawned. We've got an excellent vantage point up here. Also, if you want to do that exiting out of your thing, but not the bug, but just the trick, you got to make sure you do it as soon as you pull the trigger. Otherwise, if you leave it too late, you'll go through the cranking animation. You'll actually have to rechamber the round. So let me show you. That was obviously hip firing. See, right there. So you got to make sure you're pretty switched on when it comes to actually activating that particular trick. Also, I'm still in caution, which means there's something else still around here. Ah, yep, just there. Bang. 2,700 damage. My Lurks are very vulnerable in the face. You'll find that they'll actually... they'll actually not take damage there very well. That's basically their thing back in Fallout 3 too. They're like, go for the face. That's the only bits that's unarmored. But these bastards, they're a little bit more tricky. Even with a headshot on the level 40 blokes, that doesn't kill them. So that goes to show you how tanky the level 50 blokes are. Another crab there. And the splash damage on these things... Can we take them out in one shot? 2 shots, actually. Yeah, 2 shots. That's what I meant. So yeah, the splash damage on these weapons is also pretty good because obviously it takes 25% of your base damage and uses that as splash damage, which means that the slow rate of fire weapons aren't as penalized or aren't, well, they can still use a legendary effect fairly effectively, the explosive legendary effect fairly effectively, but not as well as the high rate of fire. Generally, the DPS of the higher ones, we can find that they'll just do more. But anyways, that's kind of it for this particular event and it for the video. So, hope you've all enjoyed. We did something a little bit different today. Instead of blasting Moody's and Moody's Plaza, which would be pretty... I don't know if people are getting sick of that, or rather this is just a weapon that'd just be slow and boring to actually wade through all of those Moody's. We took enough on it anyway. I'm satisfied with the Moody's we took out. But anyways, that there was a Bloodied explosive hunting rifle. It's alright. I'd still wouldn't use it considering I've got a Bloodied explosive lever gun, so yeah, I don't really know what to do with this thing. Perhaps I can fetch some caps for it. People might like the notoriety of it being a Bloodied explosive weapon of all things, but yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys. If you want to see this thing in your game, good luck finding one. Hit up Murmur, hit up the market if you really want, see if you get a reply. It's interesting what people can find on those things, but yep, see you later. Okay, so this was around the place where I killed the Mirelurk and made it a goo pile, and I am on the same server. Here I am. Obviously, I can't prove that by looking at a map, but you have to take my word for it, so this is a matter of trust, I suppose, but I shit you not, I can't find it. I know it was around here somewhere. Look, there's meat piles. The meat piles are still here. The Mirelurk Queen's respawned, but the goo pile is gone. I've found a way to stop this goo pile bug. I'm gonna have to spread this out. I'm gonna need your help too. Right, this is the exact area where it was. I've looked back at the footage, it ought to be there. Nowhere to be found at all. That's totally gone.